There it is. It's back. My 2018 GTX 1070 Razer blade has already been returned to me. And I want to talk to you guys about what the process was like and my experience with Razer customer service. Now, I definitely want to get into my entire customer service experience and how Razer has treated me throughout this process. But before I did that, I did want to make one very specific comment about the speed at which everything occurred. I made this video up here talking about what had happened to my blade and the problems I was having and the fact that I was going to have to return it on July 17th. Today is July 23rd. And this arrived at my house at about 10 a.m. local time. That's less than 6 days between the time when I initiated the return and the time that I got a new machine. That's pretty incredible in and of itself, not speaking about anything else. However, there are some circumstances surrounding the return that I definitely did want to talk about, and how I feel that I hope my experience is representative of the regular customer service that you can get from Razer, but I am a little bit skeptical. But let's just back up to the beginning of the process and talk about what happened behind the scenes. So Razer already had an open support ticket for me because I had called into them and told them about the Wi-Fi issue that I had been having with my previous machine. So when I called in again to tell them that I was having some much more serious problems involving being unable to boot into Windows or to see anything on my screen at all, they basically pulled up my old support ticket. They saw that I had been having other problems, and I think this kind of helped facilitate, move things along. They kind of knew that perhaps this machine was a little funky to begin with, and I think that's why they so quickly accepted the fact that they were going to have to do a full replacement on it. Now, I'm not at all certain if at that point they knew who I was. That's not an arrogant statement at all. I do have at least a small social influence because of this channel. Granted, the channel is not huge, but at the same time, I think I have some reach. And at that time when I was dealing with them, I don't know if they knew who I was. And I kind of preferred to keep it that way. I at no time indicated to them that I had a YouTube channel or that I had an audience or any kind of social reach. And I wanted to see it. I wanted to see the regular consumer, customer care, customer service RMA process. I wanted to experience it for myself. I wanted to be able to talk to you guys about it, because one of the problems that Razer seems to have in the court of public opinion is that their customer service is not great. And there are a lot of forum threads dedicated to this. But at the same time, just to play devil's advocate, keep in mind that the people that are generally the most vocal about a product or service are the people that are experiencing something negatively. So if they have a defective product, if they have a bad customer service experience, they're much more likely to go on Reddit and talk about it than somebody who just has a good experience, because a lot of people just assume that they should have a good experience. Now, far be it from me to say that people shouldn't get or expect a good customer service experience. And in fact, I think in some kind of marketing utopia, if that were to ever exist, people would want to be treated like some kind of celebrity, right? Everybody would want that celebrity treatment. They would want to be treated as if they are the company's only concern at that given time. They're going to get the best customer service rep. They're going to get the best return policy. They're going to get the fastest shipping. They're going to get everything exactly the way they want it. That's the way everybody wants to be treated, ultimately. I can't imagine that somebody would not want that. However, that's not the way things are. And I wanted to see if I could experience the customer service return procedure and see how Razer treated me as just a normal consumer. And that's kind of why I didn't really want them to know who I was. Now, during this process, and after I put up that video last week about what had happened with my blade, I I think, although I can't prove, I think that Razer as a company figured out who I was. During the process of getting everything set up to be shipped back, during the return, during the evaluation of my older unit, I got several phone calls from their senior technicians. I got 3 or 4 different follow-up emails letting me know where we're at in the process and what they're trying to do to help me. Because if you guys remember in the initial video, not only couldn't we figure out what was going on with the blade, but Razer unfortunately didn't have a replacement unit for me. They didn't have a replacement unit allocated for in their returns department, and they also didn't have any replacement units available to purchase on the web store. They were just out of stock everywhere. And that was one of my initial beefs. That's, you know, like I said before, bad products happen, but I would expect that I would be able to get something, get a replacement item if that's what's necessary, and that didn't look like it was going to be the case. However, as you can very plainly see by my blade that keeps timing out, is that, I mean, I did get one back. And the way that that happened was, apparently one rolled off the line in their factory in Singapore, and they sent it right over to me. Now, there was an intermediate step there that I wasn't honestly expecting, and I don't know if everybody would experience. They actually pulled this system off of the line and had somebody unpack it and hand check it. I don't think that that's something that everybody experiences, and it's one of the things that made me think that perhaps they, I guess, know who I am, because I don't think that that's part of the regular repair replace process. I did actually post a video up on my Patreon when this arrived of me unpacking it, and it was surprising because as I'm unpacking a supposedly new machine, everything was opened. All the plastic had already been opened and then resealed, and like the power brick box had already been, you have to like break the seal of that to open it up, and that had been done. So I guess it was pretty obvious that somebody already had been messing around with this machine. There were also fingerprints all over it. So, and they told me that the machine was being checked. So this is what I have to say about my experience with Razer. For me, and how they treated me, I don't think it could have been better. They were communicative. Although they said they didn't have a machine, they did find one and send it to me. They had somebody hand check it. I don't know exactly what was done, but they ran some tests, I guess, checked the Wi-Fi, they told me, to make sure that it was functioning correctly, that I didn't get another bad unit. And then they got it back to me within 6 days. This was shipped from Singapore on Friday or Saturday, and today is Monday. So the entire process was streamlined. It seemed to be very efficient. The communication was, I mean, I dare say perfect. There was never any point when I was lacking information that I thought I should have. And I would hope that as a consumer, that is the experience that everybody gets. But again, I am skeptical. I don't know if it's possible to allocate that amount of resources towards helping everybody. And if it is, and Razer can do that, then that's amazing. And I would put that information, my actual experience, up against anybody else's negative experience, as long as Razer is able to do that for everybody. But if they aren't, and they're treating me a special way because I do have some social influence, while I appreciate it as a person, because again, I believe everybody would want to be treated that way, it's unfortunate that I wouldn't be able to tell you guys about my regular experience, because I think that information is very valuable. It speaks a lot to how a company treats its customers and what they think about the consumers that are out there in the market. It talks about how intelligent they think people are and how much they think negative feedback will hurt them. I actually almost forgot about this. This is a Razer Man of War Tournament Edition headset. They sent this over to me because they were unable to financially compensate me for the skin, the dbrand skin that I had put on the blade. Now, I told them that it was about $30 or $40, and I think that's accurate. And they weren't able to just send me, PayPal me 30 or 40 bucks, and they have no way to send me a dbrand skin. So they said, we're sorry, we could offer you as compensation a headset. They said they had like an Overwatch one, they had a Destiny 2 one. So I picked the Destiny 2 one because it looks pretty nice. It's black and white. I don't know that I necessarily have a use for another headset, and maybe I'll give it away or something along those lines, but they did this as compensation for the skin, which again is great. I think that if they are taking into consideration all facets of this replacement process, that is something that they should be commended for. And I want to say to them directly, if they happen to be watching, Razer, thank you very much for behaving in such a way that I can compliment basically every part of this process that you guys have helped me with. It's unfortunate that the $2,600 laptop had significant issues on more than one occasion. And I would hope that in the future, any QA that needs to be corrected is corrected. However, that out of the way, the fact remains that I had a defective machine, it needed to be replaced, and Razer replaced it basically without question, very quickly, and with the best communication that I've experienced in quite a long time from any company and any return procedure. So I don't really know how much of this is I can say is as a result of me being on YouTube versus me just being a consumer in need. However, I would hope that they treat every customer like that. And if they don't, I'd hope that at least most of my experience is relatable to how other people are treated if they were to have a similar issue. All in all, I am thankful to them for how they treated me, and I am thankful that I have my blade back, and I will be putting it through its paces. And I can tell them, I could tell Razer if you're listening, and I could tell you guys as viewers, if I have another problem with this blade, another similar problem, or another completely unrelated yet similarly catastrophic problem, I won't be buying any more Razer products. So I would go through the process of returning this, getting money back, and then buying something else. I think at that point it would be fair to say that I guess maybe there'd be some issues with the new blade as a whole and the manufacturing process, but we're not there yet. I have a new blade. So far it's been behaving, and I also have a new headset because Razer, I guess they were pretty generous. So thank you very much. It's likely that I haven't addressed everybody's questions or concerns with this process in this video. And what I could say to that is I can try to help you guys out and answer questions in the comments. However, there wasn't a whole lot that you guys missed out on. The communication, the emails between myself and the Razer technicians were very brief, but they answered any question that I had involving when they were going to get it back to me, and what I can expect as far as the performance moving forward and the quality assurance that I should get. Also, when I talk to people on the phone, because like I said, they called me twice. I did not ask for a call. I didn't even know they had my number. I guess it was likely associated with my Razer account. But they called me twice just to talk about what was going on. And that's great. So if you guys have additional questions, I'll do my best to answer them in the comments. But overall, the experience here was really good. And I'm hoping that I don't run into any other issues in the future, and that I find something to do with this or somebody else, maybe one of you guys that wants it. So that's it. Get subscribed if you're not already. And once again, hope you took something away from this very informal video. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.